Hey, welcome back to New England Fire Cooking. I'm Aaron Higgins, and today what I want to show you guys is how I like to smoke a spatchcock chicken. Now, there's a couple reasons I really like spatchcock chickens like this. One, they cook a lot faster than if you left them whole, and two, it just makes for a real nice presentation when you put it on a platter and you get ready to serve it up. So this chicken I've already spatchcocked. It's a process in which you cut the spine, you cut the backbone out of the bird so it lays flat like this. And I did that off camera, but there's a really quick 4-minute video online that shows you exactly how to do it. I'm gonna put a link to that in the description. And then what I did was I made a brine, and it's a real simple brine. It's a gallon of warm water, it's 3/4 of a cup of salt, it's 2/3 a cup of sugar, it's a 1/2 cup of soy sauce, and 1/4 cup of olive oil. And you just wanna have that water warm so you can get all the sugar and the salt to dissolve. And once it's dissolved, let it come down to room temperature, set your chicken in it and let it sit overnight, and that's all you need to do. It's a real easy brine. And you can make whatever brine you like. If you got your own recipe, by all means use it. So what you wanna do after you get your bird laid out is you wanna just come around with a paper towel. Then you just want to dab it off if it's still a little wet. I already did this once, but I like to go over it again and just make sure that it's not super wet. Now, because we brined this chicken, we really don't need to season it all that much, but we do want to hit it with a little something just for an added flavor pop and give it a little bit of a crust and nice bark. It's also going to give it a really good color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush this with olive oil, and you don't have to go too crazy. It doesn't have to be a real big, heavy coat, just enough for our rub to stick to. What I'm going to season this with is I'm just going to give it a nice light coat of this stuff. It's called The Usual, and it's made by Fire and Smoke. And I got this for $6 at Walmart, and it really is the kitchen sink of an all-purpose rub. Comes with everything: salt, pepper, paprika, rosemary. Comes with all kinds of different herbs and spices that go really well with chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over and I'm just going to give it a light coat. I'm not going to go too crazy. Remember, we already brined this, and that's going to put a ton of salt and flavor into this meat, so you don't have to overdo it with the rub. Give a little brush of olive oil down inside here. Then I'm going to come over with our usual rub. And you can go a little bit heavier on the skin side, just some added color, a little added flavor. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this back over, get it just like that. And this is how it's gonna sit when we cook this on the grill, okay? It's gonna sit like this. You wanna have these legs tucked in, just like that. Brushing this with olive oil. Don't forget your sides and your wings and underneath your wings. These legs and these thighs here. Of course, you gotta get your breast. Underneath your wing. Now what we're gonna do is I go and I get the underside of the wings first. Just like that. And then come right over the thighs, the leg, the breast. Once again, remember, not going too crazy because we brined it. This is just for little added flavor, some texture, and some color. Get on top of these wings. Can't have any bare spots. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this bird just sit here and hang out for a little bit, about 15 minutes while we get the Traeger up to temp. We're gonna be running right at 300 degrees today. We're gonna be using some oak pellets, just because that's what I have. Okay guys, so we're down here at the pit. Traeger's almost up to temperature. But before I get the chicken on, I want to show you a couple things. I've got this ThermalWorks dot here, okay? And this is really important with this chicken. What I'm gonna do, believe it or not, I'm gonna set this chicken skin side down for the first part of this cook. And I've got my ThermalWorks dot set right here at 145, and I'm gonna be temping in the breast. This chicken is gonna be done when it's 165 in the breast and 175 in the thigh. Okay, but we're gonna flip this chicken. It's gonna spend most of the cook skin side down, and then I'm gonna finish it off skin side up. Okay, so here we go guys, skin side down, just like that. We got the meat probe. We're gonna go right in the breast. Now remember, these meat probes, they only temp right at the tip, so you don't have to bury it all the way in. You can go into about there, which would be good. Oh, now what I want to do is I want to put some weight on this chicken, and I want to have it pressed up right against those grates pretty good, get some nice marks on there, and get the skin kind of crispy. Now, a lot of guys, I've seen guys use stone wrapped in tin foil. Some guys use bricks wrapped in tin foil, but for me, big old cast iron does the trick. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this bad boy closed and let it roll until we're at 145. Okay guys, as you can see, my ThermalWorks dot is singing away here. We're at 146 in the breast. Now it's time to silence this and flip this chicken. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this. These are really easy to set. And I'm gonna bring this right up to 165. Leave it right in the same breast, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this chicken over, get it skin side up, and continue to let it roll. The first thing that what we're going to do is we're going to get this cast iron out of here. Set that off to the side. That can sit right there. The raw chicken juice can bake off of it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this chicken over. Lost a little skin over there, which is unfortunate, but that happens. Now we're going to continue to let this roll. It's already smelling really juicy. We're going to let this roll until it hits 165 in the breast. Okay guys, so here we go again. Our ThermalWorks dot is singing at us. We're at 168. Now it's time to check the temperature in the thighs with my instant read. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to check it right in the thigh. I want to see how we're doing. We're at 196. Yeah, we're doing just fine. If anything, that would be considered overcooked, but that dark meat in there is very, very, very forgiving. Let's see how we're doing it elsewhere. Yeah, right around 200. I'd say this chicken is done. Now we're going to pull it off. We're going to let it rest. Okay, guys, so here we are with our spatchcock chicken. I carved up the wing. I got the leg, the drum, and the thigh right off of there, and then I just separated the breast. Cut it right down the very center. It makes it a lot easier to process. Plate up and serve. And I've got a whole other side I've got to carve up for dinner time. But before I do, I wanted to recap what we did here, but I want to give this a shot too. So this is pretty easy. All you got to do is you got to spatchcock a chicken. Told you how to do that earlier. Left a link in the description. If you guys get stuck, reference that. It's a perfect way to do it. Spatchcock the chicken. We got it into the brine. Gave you a recipe on that earlier in the video. Real easy. Let it brine overnight. Pull it out, and then all you gotta do is just gotta hit it with a little bit of seasoning, and I just use the usual seasoning, but you can go with a simple salt, pepper, garlic. You could just do kosher salt and coarse ground black pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic or something like that, and that would totally do the trick. And then what we did was we got it right on the Traeger. We're running right at 300. You can do this on any grill you want. The reason I use the Traeger is just because it cooks a little bit more evenly. And what we did was we went skin side down. We set a big cast iron pan on top of it. Some guys use rocks, some guys use bricks wrapped in tin foil or something like that. I've just found that the cast iron pan is just the easiest to use, and it saves me the time of wrapping a rock in tin foil just for a chicken. So we went skin side down with cast iron on top of it. We ran our ThermalWorks dot probe right into the breast, and we flipped this chicken over right at 145. We lost a little bit of skin in that process, and that's a little bit of a bummer. That always bums me out when that happens, but it's something that it's just par for the course. It's just something that happens from time to time, and you just gotta make the best out of it. And then when it temped out at 165 in the breast and 175 or a little over that, we're right around like 180, sometimes like 190 right in the thigh. And that's okay. The dark meat's a little bit forgiving. 165 in the breast is what you're looking for. You really don't want to overcook that breast because it's going to dry out. But I'm going to tell you right now, based on what I'm looking at right here, this is not a dry chicken. So what we did was we pulled that chicken off. We let it rest for a little while, covered it in some foil. Then we carved it up. Now I'm going to get into this. This breast looks awesome. Get a piece right here, a little bit of that skin. Ooh, and lose this little niblet. Guys, this is so juicy. It's so tender. And there's so much flavor in this chicken. Forget about picking up a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, guys. Take the time to do this. Oh man. I gotta look into this wing. I love wings as it is. And you know I gotta get down on one of these. Oh my God. It's tender. It's just falling off the bone. Just a ridiculously good roasted chicken. Spatchcock, and keep in mind, when you use spatchcock chicken, it cooks faster. So you're not gonna be into an all-day event. There's only a couple of hours here. And I gotta tell you, it is totally worth it. Totally worth it. And for some of you guys thinking, what about other birds? Can it work with a goose? Can it work with a turkey? Of course you can. Of course you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Bigger birds, and they're gonna cook quicker when you spatchcock them. That may look really nice. When you go to present them, they look really, really nice. Give them a bite of this breast here. Oh man, look at that glorious white meat. Glorious white meat chicken. It's juicy as I am. I got juice all over my hands here. Wow. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect roasted chicken. You cannot go wrong. This is something I could eat every day. Something I could eat every day and probably not die. Guys, look, this is a home run. It's real easy. It doesn't take too long. You do it on any grill. Guys, listen, if you like what you see here and you like what we're doing on this channel, please give us a subscribe. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. Thanks for hanging out with us today. See you next time.